Hi there, I'm James and welcome to our finca here in Costa Rica, Talamanca. We created this place about 3 years ago with the ambition to start yoga retreat, permaculture, also just to bring people to this beautiful place, be it yoga, breath, meditation work or permaculture retreats. It's been a hard 3 years. We have 1.5 hectares of property here in this pristine jungle setting. We built our house, the main house over here, and we put an extension on it, which is an integrated yoga deck, an apartment underneath it. And at the moment we're in the middle of building a gazebo for a communal area here, come bar, come restaurant, place to eat, a place to meet, and also a place to meditate, mantra singing. This is our little place where we chill sometimes, have a nice sundowner. You see I built a swing at the back there. It's quite a long Tarzan swing. The kids love that, and also the grown-ups as well. It's really interesting. Our property will start then from about just on this line of trees over here that we see. There's the driveway coming up, and it goes down over there about another 200 meters into the jungle and continues down to the fence over here, where we'll be going in a minute, and I can show you the orchards, the future permaculture garden that I have, and other couple little secret places that I've built around the property. So let's just go for a little walk here. I've been trying to grow bananas, fruit trees here as we're going. So as you see here, we've got bananas. They provide us with a lot of fruit. And the papayas up here, very fast growing trees, very easy to take care of. And we've always got fresh fruit. Here we're going up to the main house again. This half of it was the place we made first to live in. And like I was saying earlier, with the extension on there with the apartments down there. It's a working place, so it's not always tidy. Things need to be done, and we can't pack away all the time. This is the waterworks here. It's very, very important. It's the heart of the place. Without water, no life. So I've got a 6-meter water tower there with 2 tanks. That's what we started at. We found out that that wasn't enough for us, so we put in 4 more water containers here, and these are all rain catchment water containers. It almost seems like the water being drawn from the roof down at the bottom there is going uphill, and you're excused for, or forgiven to think that, but it's just the water column, and these tanks are just above or just below the level of the guttering of the roof, which means they're self-filling. We don't need energy to fill them up, and we've got enough pressure here to feed most of the dwellings around here. So no pumping necessary, and as soon as you get a rain, they fill up automatically. We've got 5, there's 12,500 litres of water there, 3,500 litres of water up at the top there. And still sometimes when it's dry season, we do run into problems with water shortages. I think we've just got over 20,000 litres of water there, where one would think that's enough, but you can never have enough water ever. Okay, that's enough for the water now. The nursery down here, that's, excuse the washing machine in there, but we had to put it in the dry. This is where we plant little baby plants, fruit trees. We've got mango, mamoncino, papaya, we've got a few there. And then we've got some ornamental plants, cacti. And this is the dry nursery, and that's the wet nursery. So everything we got in the garden started life in this little nursery here. It's the start of everything really as well. There we've got some beautiful little ones growing here. The pineapples. Whenever we have a pineapple, we'll just chop the head off, plant that in the ground, and in about 2 years we'll have pineapples. It's a long process, but it'll pay off one day. Then let's go down to the first little guest house we've got. So this used to be down here, I wouldn't call it jungle, I'd just call it bush with vines and everything growing. We came down here with a machete and chopped a path down and then built these primitive steps. They're not the nicest steps, but they're service steps to reach the rondavel where we're going down now. Rondavel is an African name for a roundhouse. I wanted to bring a bit of an African touch here because of my life in South Africa. This is over here the rondavel. The name says it's round with a kitchen on the edge. On the side is the kitchen. It's a self-containing apartment with all the amenities that you can have. And it's very peaceful and tranquil down here. The people love it. They're away from our place up there, our house. They've got their own driveway coming up here, so they can actually just stay here for a week and we wouldn't know they're here if they didn't want to. The tree I'm under here is a beach almond. These are originally from the Indian Ocean, Seychelles, and they grow out like an umbrella. They're beautiful shade trees, and if you prune them and bonsai them, you can have layers of umbrella here or sunshade, and they just make beautiful places to sit under in the heat. There we've got some beautiful papayas growing up there. So the rondavel, as we see, the kitchen side of it, the bedroom side, it's all open. In Africa they're completely round, and over here being in the tropics, it's nice to be outside. We bring, or a lot of people bring most of their time outside, so I made a very generous outside area around it. Everything is open, the air can flow through, and it's just nice and tranquil down here. I've got here some bananas as well. Over here I planted a banana plantation just in the forest there with papayas. Those should be ready in about 6 months, I'd say. And our property goes into the jungle up here, around about 50 meters, 100 meters up into the jungle there. So we're going to leave the rondavel area now and go down to the bottom boundary of our property, which is the fence over here. The pastures there behind is not our property anymore. And here's the road accessing the rondavel. So you can drive a car out here and you don't have to be dependent on our driveway. Up here to the right, about a year and a half ago, I cleared all the grass and the bush, and we've planted fruit trees now here. This is going to be our orchard. I think there's about 18 fruit trees now, ranging from mangoes, mamuncinos, avocados, various citrus fruits, grapefruit, lemon, orange. What else have we got there? Platanos I've planted in between the fruit trees. They're very fast growing, so it's a year after growing you can start harvesting your first platanos, and everything's organic here. We know what we're eating, and it's grown with love and attention to organic food. That's the way we want to go. If we look down to the left here, this is going to be the future food garden, right down to the corner here. There we've got some yucca cassava growing already. Very, very easy to grow in the tropics. They don't need any attention, they just grow, they keep growing. And it's really, really good food. Down here is our well, goes down 8 meters. And that's our second source of water. Living off grid, you should always have 2 sources of water. One, the rainwater that I showed at the top there, and if you're not having any rains for 3 or 4 weeks, the water runs out, you've still got the well. The well is more of a long-term saving system for the water. So when the rain tanks dry out, the well will keep providing water for a month or two after. Eventually it will dry out as well if the dry period's long enough. Last year we had a La Nina year, not much rain at all, and we were getting about 5 minutes of water, which probably a couple hundred litres a day, which isn't really enough. When the rain season starts again, the water tanks fill up instant. It's instant water, but on the other side, the well takes about 2 or 3 weeks to replenish itself. So it's more of a slow, long-term water saving and water source. Over here, this grass here is called vetiver grass. It's an amazing grass. The properties of the roots for oil is just amazing. It smells beautiful, it's used for perfume, but other health benefits. The reason I've planted this vetiver grass everywhere is the roots go so deep down into the earth, they hold earth together. So it's the best thing for supporting hills, structures, banks, where in the rainy season they could wash out. If you plant the vetiver grass, you shouldn't have a problem at all, ever. They're really good plants to grow. Very well used in the permaculture scene. Over here we have some organic beds making. So when the rain comes down the bank here, it'll collect on these beds here. And that's in the making. So we're putting biomass on it, greens, browns, to get that earth good for the future. The earth around here is 100% clay. Of course everything does grow here, but not your fruit and veggies, your delicate ones, which means we're going to have to start building up the soil here, changing it from the clay, the hard clay, into a better soil, which means nitrate binding plants. We're going to be planting down here pigeon peas. This is a pigeon pea here, for example. These are used a lot in Africa. They have so much fruit on them. They give off so much food. Of course it takes some time to get them. At the moment there's not much on there, but when they do go into fruit, the whole tree is just full of pigeon peas. They're amazing trees because they're nitrate binders, which means they'll bind nitrates into the soil and they'll loosen up the clay. What we've also doing is we've got wood here. I'm storing all our wood and we're going to be making char. I'll show you the char pit. Charcoal. We make a slow burning fire, not much oxygen getting into it. We'll make the charcoal. After we've made the charcoal, we'll infuse it with, give it a treatment infusion with compost, and then that's ready to put into the ground to put nutrients back in the ground to get the ground softened up. You can't put the char straight from the fire or when it's cooled down into the vegetables or into the plants, near the plants, because it will just suck. It's just very, very porous. You've got so much surface area on these charcoal pieces. They'll suck all the life out of the plants or the nutrients. So you have to infuse them with nutrients so they'll give it up. That's what our char pit looks like. That will be burnt there. After it's burnt, it'll be doused in earth, in water. Take the charcoal out, grind it up, infuse it, and you're ready to go. I've done some little experiments here on the vetiver grass. As you can see, it's starting to grow here. I put it in tubes, so there's just air in here. And afterwards, I'll just pull this out and I'll have a root system without the earth, and I can harvest that. And I'd like to make some oils out of it, some oils for perfume, for health benefits, anything like that. Here's looking down again to the food garden, and we've got some okras over here. You see the flowers growing, lovely vegetables, platinos. And then here we've got our workaway, casita. This is the last one I built, and we do like having workaways here. It helps. It's a good experience. We've made lovely friendships out of or with the people who've been here previously, and I think it's nice to give the people a lovely place to stay. They're going to be spending 3 to 6 weeks at our place working, helping us out, and I want them to have a good time and feel comfortable, which is why I built the little casita here. Very basic, very open, but it's close to the garden here, where in the future I want to pay more attention to, so they're next to the actual place where they're going to be working. I've got an independent tank over here. I've got a dry compost toilet here. The reason being is to have a septic tank down here, I don't want a septic tank near my food garden. It just doesn't feel good. So we're going to do the organic compost toilet here, which we put over there. It'll decompose within a few months, and it will make really good earth as well. And you're solving 2 problems there actually. And also you're solving a lot of water. I found that toilet flushing is such a wasteful means of using water. It's much easier with the organic toilet to use that. Here's going to be a future flower bed or a bed for vegetables, delicate vegetables. We're going to do another one here next to it. Then we'll put bamboo sticks up here, and we'll put a roof in. Like the nursery up there, half of it with a shade cloth, the other half with a plastic cloth. So we can, if you have very, very bad rains here, it just hammers the little baby plants, the delicate plants. So you've got a way of controlling the amount of water going onto your plants in the rainy season when it's too much. With a shade cloth, sometimes the sun's so intense that it'll just burn little delicate vegetables. So that's going to be for the more delicate stuff down there in the food garden. Here again, the vetiver grass, that's how it grows. There's our house tree up here, a ceiba. It's called the ceiba. It's a ceiba tree. It's just lost its leaves. As you can see, all the leaves everywhere here. Does it twice a year, and the buds are just starting to grow back. In about 3 or 4 days, that's going to be a lush, light, fresh spring green. Now we're back where we started from the swing, the platform there. And just coming up past the new construction site. It should be ready in about 2 weeks, hopefully. And we're having our first retreat, so very excited about that, and hoping to get it all done in time. Over here, if we look down here, I'm not sure if you can see it, probably not. There's the lake. We've got 2 little lakes down there. It's an amazing place in the evenings to watch birds, basilisks, different types of turtles, little caimans, fish, iguanas. There's everything down there. It's a really nice place to hang out and just be quiet and watch. The animals start to come into sight when you do that. This is our first little guest house we made. It sleeps 2 upstairs in a gallery style bedroom, and there's a single bed downstairs for a 3rd person. It's all made out of natural material, or as much as we could. Of course the roof isn't. In the tropics you need a good roof. Most of it is tin roof. It's light. It doesn't get hot in the sun, yes, but it cools down very quickly in the evenings, so it doesn't capture or store any heat, so you can have nice cool evenings here. And now we're back to where we were. This is a beautiful cedro tree, Cedro Imago tree. It's our 2nd house tree, property tree here. We love it. I had to cut some of these branches off the top here because they were getting very dry and hanging down, and when people go under there, I didn't want anybody to be hit by it. I don't like chopping trees down, and that's why I rather bring in a tree doctor, pay a little bit more money, but then we just prune the trees, and there's no need to cut them all down. So we're back then to the house here, and I'll just show you our living quarters maybe, if I'd like to invite you into my house and have a look at the view that we have every single day. It's just a pleasure to wake up and drink a coffee to this beautiful view here. Welcome to our humble home. And if we see over there, those mountains on the horizon there, the hills, that's Panama. It might look a bit drawn away with the camera, but I think it's probably about 3 to 4 kilometers as the bird flies in a straight line there. And between them and us, there's the Sixaola River, which forms the border to Panama. The yoga deck. And the natural furniture is all handmade, just fits in with the vibe of the place. Thanks for being patient and having a tour with me of my little finca, 1.5 hectares almost. I really would like to welcome people of all types, all ages, to come and experience our life here, experience the yoga that Andrea does, to experience just being here, the friendliness, the energy of the place. I'd just like to welcome everybody who would like to experience this very simple, off-grid way of life. In these time and ages, CO2, carbon footprint is quite an important factor. Being here, you've got a zero CO2 footprint because we're all off-grid. All our electricity is from the solar panels up on the roof. Our water is rain catchment, like I explained, and it's a nice feeling to actually be here and say, I haven't made any dent on any CO2 emissions. It's quite a nice thing in these time and ages, and it really is like that here. People who want to see how it is to live off-grid in Costa Rica, to get out, to relocate to a remote location. It's not always easy, it's hard work, but it's so rewarding to get away from the hustle and bustle of civilization. I can give you some tips, I can show you the reality of the place here, what it means to relocate to a beautiful location like this, and it is well worth it. The pros far outweigh the cons, and it's what we've found the last 3 years is a very lively life. It's very interesting, it's never boring, there's ups and downs, but we've learned so much compared to our former life in Europe. Totally different ball game, and we're loving it, and I hope if you come here and visit us, you'll love it as well. Thank you.